Hey, Shalom, Shalom, man. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Shalom, Labakariam, Shor Yasharala, Pakwanaya, Ba, Yashawataka, Kananya, Ka, Amaratka, Baba Kasha, Nathan Laya, Ha, Kasayam, Shor, Dawada, Baba Kasha, Abanawa Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles of Great Millstone, and the elders. You like-minded brothers as well, and the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahshai, shalom to you and your household, and you sisters, the few that are sincere, okay? And I want to touch on something because I ran into this, and I want to show you brothers the hypocrisy of Sicarii, and also to show you that, they're brainwashing and actually, manipulating and leading these young brothers, astray, and this is a good example right here. Now, this brother right here, Ratazak Sicarii, now, he came up to our camp, and he seemed sincere, and like we always say, there's going to be brothers that are sincere, but they could be sincerely led astray. They could be sincerely wrong. They could be sincerely mistaken. They could be sincerely lacking and, erring in the scriptures by following their leaders. Okay? And this is a good example. This is a prime example. And this brother, when he came up to us, he was sincere. He came up to say shalom to us when we was out there in the highways. These brothers, they be doing the work, holding camp like a block down the street from us. We're not too far from each other's. And, we asked him who was his chief priest, who was his high priest, and he said Alazar. So we told him, that you're wrong, brother. You were supposed to say Yahweh Shai. And then he was like, he got caught like, yeah, Yahweh Shai. But, that's just to show you that, the manipulation that's going on. That was his first response. But anyway, that's another topic. But I wanted to show you, the hypocrisy because here he goes and he's quoting Hebrews just so he can make his point, And this was based on, sex on the Sabbath, I guess. If sex is unclean, holy, and he's going back and forth with a woman rather than telling a woman that, you need to just be quiet and listen. But see, this is on Facebook and everybody's just out of order on there. You know what I'm saying? Out of order. The women out of order, men out of order. You got so much confusion. And I'm going to prove the confusion furthermore. Now, listen, this is the hypocrisy. Your leaders are telling you that the book of Hebrews cannot be authenticated. We have proven that it is authenticated through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. But here you go justifying to prove a point. You'll use the book of Hebrews to justify a point, which is hypocritical as hell. This is just one example. Then you got this bald-head dude, Doodoo Demon, Doodoo Demon Deacon, because everything that comes out of his mouth lately is just doo-doo. Straight doo-doo. Okay? And here he goes, bigging up a woman. Very good point that people seem not to understand, sis. Rather than telling the woman she's out of order, she shouldn't be speaking, you know what I'm saying? But this just to show you. This just to show you how these men, they harbor and they breed the woman. They make them feel good, which is nothing wrong with that. But everything got to go in order. And it's just out of order, man. Then he goes here and says, sex is holy, akwaf. All it means is when seed is let out and touches anything is unclean, which is based on Leviticus 15 and 16. 16 and 15, if I'm mistaken. The law on copulation. But this is the point. They missed the whole point. We're not saying that sex is wicked. Come on now. The Lord told us to be fruitful and multiply. Come on, sex is marriage. You know what I'm saying? Marriage is holy in front of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. No, It's the pleasure that comes with sex. It's the activity, the physical work. The Lord said not to work on the Sabbath, to keep it holy. That's part of working, man. You getting down, man. Especially if you really getting down, man, with a good woman and you doing your thing with your wife. You know, you're sweating, man, and man, listen, it's all, I ain't got to go in details. But listen, they missed the whole mark. It's the pleasure. It's the desire. It's the satisfaction. It's the delight. It's the lust, if you want to say, the yearning, the satisfaction that comes with sex. That's what makes it unclean. That's what makes it not to do it on the Sabbath. Sex on the Sabbath is wrong. These men are moving. It's just they just missing the mark, which shows they've been missing the mark. But now listen to this, and then you got Doodle Mouth Deacon. You talking good out 100%. Just continuing to puff up his little Sicarii minions. Damn, bro, a lot of blood on their hands, man. So, and this is the confusion. Here you got a ISUPK dudes, right? And then you got the same brother, Ratazah Sicarii, UPK, Khan, is lawful equals holy. Now, ISUPK doesn't teach the mark of the beast, the charagma. They don't teach that is the chip. They go against it. But Sicarii teaches the chip, which they got that from Great Millstone. But they are bigging up each other. So do you see the confusion here? You see? Now I want to show you something. Let's go to Isaiah 58 and 13. If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and shall call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of the Lord. Okay? Let's go to that word, thy pleasure. Now, I want to show y'all something. Thy pleasure.
Strong's H 2656.
Okay, that's the word. It goes into delight, pleasure, delight, desire, longing, the good pleasure, that in which one takes delight. Now, we're going to focus on this word desire. Okay, we're going to look that up. Now, listen to this. Desire. I had a desire to see the world. Wish, want, fancy, inclination, aspiration, impulse, preference, yearning, longing, craving, hankering. Hankering, man, that's just another word of sex. Pinning, ache, hunger, thirst, itch, burning. Do you see that? Burning. We men, we burn at times, meaning, horny, whatever you want to call it, burning. That horny demon come on you. You need sex, eagerness. Now, when you go down, look what it says, the second definition. Lust, lustfulness, sexual appetite. Sexual appetite. Come on, man. Sexual appetite. Come on, man. Now I want to come and I want to show y'all something, right? We already looked that up, desire. Now, check this out. We're going to go to Deuteronomy 21. We're going to show you something. I want to show y'all something. Deuteronomy 21. Check it out. All right, all praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, man. No sex on the Sabbath, man. But these men are teaching that. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? Come on. Now, Deuteronomy 21, this based on the law when we go to war. When thou goest forth to war against thy enemies, and Yahweh thy most high power have delivered them into thy hands, and thou hast taken them captive, and seized among them, the captives, a beautiful woman, and has a desire. There go that word desire. That goes back into what? Pleasure. Where we read Isaiah 58 and 13. Unto her, that thou wouldest have her to thy wife. What is wife? Marriage. What is marriage? Sex. Then thou shalt bring her home to thy house, and she shall shave her head and peel her nails, And she shall put the raiment of her captivity from off her, and shall remain in thy house, and beware her father and her mother a full month. And after that, thou shalt go in unto her. After a full month of her mourning, right? Because you done killed probably her father, her brother, her uncle, she pissed off at you, and be her husband, and she shall be thy wife. Then you could go into her and have sex, right? Now I want to focus on something. Let's go into beautiful. Okay? All praises at the water Yah B'Shem Yahshua for the teachers of Great Millstone, man, the true leaders. Now we go into that word beautiful. It's tar. I guess I'm pronouncing it right. I don't know.
Strong's H 8389. To'er.
There you go. And look what it says. Shape, form, outline, figure, appearance. Huh? So that means when you went into war and you see a woman that you desire because you looked at her and you was like, whoa, this woman right here is bad as hell. Just like when we see a sexy woman in the streets and be like, man, she's nice. Nice shape, nice body. You probably looked at her melons. You probably looked at her thighs. You looked at her buttocks like, wow. And she's beautiful at the same time. So the men of the Lord, the Israelites, that's what they did. They was like, whoa, I want her. I desire her. Because you looked at her figure. Come on. Now, when you go down, right here, check this out. Let me see. Let me just make sure I'm right. Okay. And make sure. Now, when you go to the Strongs, right, of that word, Salakia. All right, that's beautiful, okay? Now, let's go back out. Now, we establish the Hebrew word for beautiful. We understand that the shape, the outline, the figure of a woman, that's what these men desire. They desire to have pleasure with this woman, right? They had a desire, right? The Hebrew word Hasak, right?
Strong's H 2836. Chashak.
Listen to this.
Chashak.
To love. Huh? What's love? I want to make love to my wife. I want to have sex to my wife. That's what we say, man. To be attached to long for. Huh? Fillet. Huh? Desire, set his love. Huh? Delight. Then we read that Isaiah 58 and 13. Delight, pleasure. Look at this. Let's go down to the Browns Driver Briggs lexicon for the word Hasak, to love, right? Listen to this. Look at the bottom. To be attached, to only figuratively love a woman. Huh? To love a woman, to have sex with her. Come on. Now, when you go to Genesis 34 and 8, watch this. Genesis 34 and 8. And Hamor communed with them, saying, the soul of my son, Shechem, longeth, they go that word longeth, desire for your daughter. I pray you give her to my what? I pray you give him to wife. See? Come on. No sex on the Sabbath. You break down these words, man. And it shows you that, sexual appetite, pleasure, desire. Okay, when you go into Isaiah 58, 13 on the NLT, and it tells you, keep the Sabbath day holy. Don't pursue your own interests on that day, but enjoy the Sabbath and speak of it with delight as the Lord holy day. Honor the Sabbath if anything you do on that day, and don't follow your own desires. Huh? Don't fire your own desires, man. Okay? So these men are clearly going off, man. Sex is not wicked. But you cannot have sex because it goes into your own desire, your own pleasure. You enjoy sex. Okay? Wisdom of Solomon 7, chapter 7, verse 1. I myself also am a mortal man, like to all, and the offspring of him that was first made of the earth, and in my mother's womb was fashioned to be flesh in the time of 10 months, being compacted in blood of the seed of man, and the pleasure that came with sleep, man. The pleasure that came with sleep. The pleasure that came with having sex. Going to bed. Let's go to bed, baby. Oh, you know, you got that saying you trying to get me in the bed, ain't you? You know, these women getting sassy. You trying to get me in the bed. And here goes Solomon breaking it down, man. Come on. Come on, stop, man. This is crazy. But it just showed you the hypocrisy of Sicarii, man. They'll use the book of Hebrews to justify a point, and then they'll twist things around, you know, and they got they little minions brainwashed, man. Hey, this is bad, man. Hey, man, all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Shalom, man.